You're tuned to Jazz Haven, broadcasting live from studios in downtown New Haven, Connecticut at WNHH 103.5 FM and on the web at newhavenindependent.org. Got Stan the Man with the jazz.
upon a summertime, if you recall, we stopped beside a little flower stall. A bunch of bright forget-me-nots was all I'd let you buy me. Once upon a summertime, just like today, we laughed the happy afternoon away and stole a kiss in every street cafe. On the tree, I was as proud as any girl could be, as if the mayor had offered me the key to Paris. Now another winter time has come and pigeons feeding in the square have flown, but I remember when the vespers chime, you loved me once upon a summertime.
That's Once Upon a Summertime, the late, great Astrid Gilberto. She left us on June 5th, earlier this month. She was 83 years old. She was there with from a 1965 recording with the Gil Evans Orchestra from a release called Look to the Rainbow on the Verve record label. And Jazz Haven started with a brand new release from pianist Orrin Evans with special guest Larry McKenna on the tenor sax, Buster Williams bass, and Gene Jackson on the drums. The release is called The Red Door, and that's on the Smoke Sessions record label. And we heard The Good Life. Coming up today on Jazz Haven, we got tunes inspired by the beginning of summer. So we're into summer now, effective earlier this morning. And we've got the #1 jazz recording in the country this week. We have music from Darren Litzy and Jay Hogarth. But first, here's the new one from tenor saxophonist Eric Alexander, and he's here on the alto saxophone. The tune called Blues for Diane.
The boat rides we would take, the moonlight on the lake, the way we danced and hummed our favorite song, the things we did last summer, I'll remember all winter long. The midway and the fun, the Cupid dolls we won, the bell you rang to prove that you were strong, the things we did last summer, I'll remember all winter long. The early morning hike, the rented tandem bike, the lunches that we used to pack. We never could explain that sudden summer rain, the looks we got when we got back. The leaves began to fade like promises we made. How could a love that seemed so right go wrong? The things we did last summer, I'll remember all winter long. The early morning hike, the rented tandem bike, the lunches that we used to pack. We never could explain that sudden summer rain, the looks we got when we got back. The leaves began to fade like promises we made. How could a love that seemed so right go wrong? The things we did last summer, I'll remember all winter long.
From 1962, that's Nancy Wilson with the George Shearing Quintet, the Swingings Mutual on Capitol Records. Things we did last summer. And the set began with Eric Alexander, who's known as a tenor saxophonist, is here on his latest release on the alto sax with strings. The name of the release is A New Beginning, alto saxophone with strings. The tune we heard has no strings, though. No strings attached, I guess you'd say. Eric Alexander with his composition, Blues for Diane. And that tune is actually on there twice. We played the alternate take. He's got David Hazeltine on piano, John Weber on the bass, Joe Farnsworth on the drums. Eric Alexander, Blues for Diane. WNHH 103.5 FM, where you hear commercial-free jazz and discussions on topics that impact all of us. It's New Haven's home for community radio, streaming on the World Wide Web at newhavenindependent.org. That's a long note. That's from Connecticut's world-renowned vibraphonist Jay Hogarth out of Middletown, Wesleyan University, off his latest release, Raise Your Spirit Consciousness. And that tune was Holy Spirit Consciousness. Dwight Andrews there on the soprano sax and bass clarinet, Nat Adderley Jr. piano, James Weidman on the Hammond B3 organ, Kenny Davis, I believe that was electric bass, Farron Aklov on the drums. Jay Hogarth, Raise Your Spirit Consciousness. They didn't want to stop playing, so hey. The Jazz Haven Jazz Calendar is a quick rundown of some of the jazz in the area this week. It's Wednesday, the first day of summer, June 21st. And we've got some great ways to enjoy some summer jazz. Each and every Wednesday at the Owl Shop, downtown New Haven, it's the Kevin St. James Quintet from 9 until midnight, and there's no cover charge. NMCC, no music cover charge. On Thursday, June 22nd, 14-time Grammy Award winner and legendary pianist Herbie Hancock will be at the Palace Theater, Waterbury, for one performance beginning at 7:30 p.m. This is part of the Ion Bank Concert Series. And you can get tickets from a link on the Jazz Haven Jazz Calendar. That's jazzhaven.org. And on Friday, June 23rd, for that unique audio experience, join jazz historian and curator Frank Cochran at the Institute Library, downtown New Haven, from 5:30 to 7 p.m. I think they may be changing their hours to 5 p.m. You may want to check with Frank on that. But you can certainly listen to rare and classic recordings from the Institute's extensive vinyl collection. It's free, it's open to the public, and you can bring your own munchies and drink, and donations are accepted. This week, I think there'll be some discussion. Frank wants to add some CDs to the vinyl collection. So be there if you're interested in that. This weekend at Connecticut's premier jazz spot, the Side Door Jazz Club at the Old Lime Inn. On Friday, it's South African pianist Induduzo McEntheny. And on Saturday, young saxophonist Sarah Hanahan and her quartet. Induzo McEntheny will be with the trio. Performances begin at 8:30 each night, and there's a link on the Jazz Haven Jazz calendar for tickets to that. Saturday, June 24th, it's that historic jazz jam at Cafe 9, downtown New Haven, 4 to 7 p.m. All musicians are welcome to sit in after the first set. And it's NMCC. Also on Saturday, guitarist Joe Carter and pianist Darren Litzy are at the Best Video Film and Cultural Center in Hamden, 5:30 p.m. Concert will take place outdoors, and if it rains, it moves indoors. And for that jazz brunch on Sunday, June 25th, check out the Lobster Shack in East Haven. Goes from 11 a.m. to 1:30 p.m. This Sunday's featured artists are bassist Jeff Fuller, guitarist Gary Grippo. Also on Sunday, it's the annual Bands on the Bluff series, featuring alto saxophonist Larry Haddad and his quintet. 6 p.m. the music begins, and this all takes place in the Lordship neighborhood in Stratford. That's Bands on the Bluff. It's free, open to the public. Bring your blankets, lawn chairs. That's Lordship in Stratford, Connecticut. That concludes the jazz calendar for the week. Go to jazzhaven.org for the complete calendar and updates and tickets. And check out some live jazz this week. It's America's only original art form. And now here's that number one jazz recording in the country. It's second week in a row. And it's 85-year-old drummer Louis Hayes off his release Exactly Right, Scarborough Fair.
The summer wind came blowing in from across the sea and lingered there, so warm and fair, to walk with me. All summer long we sang a song and strolled on golden sand, two sweethearts and the summer wind. Like painting kites, those days and nights went flying by. The world was new beneath the blue umbrella sky. Then softer than a piper man, one day it called to you, and I lost you to the summer wind.
That's Madeline Peru on guitar and vocal there with Johnny Mercer's The Summer Wind off her 2006 release called Half the Perfect World. And we started that set with 85-year-old drummer. I can't get over it, so I'll probably say that a lot of times. 85-year-old drummer Louis Hayes has the #1 jazz recording in the U.S. of A. Exactly Right is the name of the release, and it's on the Savant record label. And we heard Scarborough Fair with Abraham Burton there on the tenor sax, Steve Nelson vibraphone, David Hazeltine piano, and Desron Douglas on the bass. Up next, we got Connecticut pianist from Milford, Darren Litzy, off his latest release. I think it's his first and only release at this point, My Horizon. That's on the Summit record label. And the tune we have here is a Pat Metheny composition, Question and Answer. pianist Darren Litzy there off his latest release, My Horizon. He's there with Chris DeAngelis on bass, John Riley on the drums, and the Pat Metheny composition, Question and Answer. And just a reminder, Darren Litzy will be performing Saturday at the Best Video Film and Cultural Center in Hamden. We want to thank you for listening to Jazz Haven, broadcasting live from our studios here in beautiful downtown New Haven, Connecticut, streaming at newhavenindependent.org, and the jazz station WETFLP from South Bend, Indiana, and streaming worldwide at Jazz Radio, WETF.org. Your host has been me, Stan the Man, and we certainly hope you enjoyed the music. We've had a great time bringing it, and we look forward to the next time when we'll see you on the radio. Taking us home is a tune called Treasure Lane. It's from a brand new release on Smoke Sessions called Like Minds, and it's our own tenor saxophonist Wayne Escoffery with Dave Kokoski on the keys, Ugana Okegwo on the bass, Mark Whitfield Jr. on the drums.
while COVID may not stop a baby's heart, isn't a child with a rising fever, cough, and chills enough to make your heart skip a beat? Children are 19% of